Jinxie and welcome to the last video of 2025. So for our last video of the year, I kind of just had this idea a few weeks ago where I really just wanted to sit down with you guys, have a hot drink, maybe grab a snack, and just sort of like look back on the year of how 2025 was. Because it certainly was a little bit all over the place for me personally. I feel like that's kind of a general consensus all around there, that it's kind of been a bit of a wild year. So I kind of wanted to just sort of like sit down, chill out with you guys, look at what hopefully 2026 is going to bring for the channel. But yeah, I don't normally do like these sit down just talking like videos. I feel kind of like exposed right now because I don't just like, I always obviously am like playing games or reacting to something, so it feels like a little strange to just like be sat down rambling. So like, yeah, I thought of this video idea like a little while ago, and then the other night I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and I was like, I need to like write some of these like ideas down that I've like been having in my head. So I've done a few bullet points to hopefully try and keep me on track, because we all know what I'm like. Like, I feel sort of like everyone kind of says this each year of, you know, the year's been sort of like full of ups and downs and all of that. Like, everyone always says that because like that is such as life and all of that. There's always like ups and downs, but like I kind of feel like sort of after the beginning part of the year, I was kind of in a really sad place where I was struggling with sort of wanting to do the channel and make good content, but also sort of like feeling a little stuck with things. Because I mean, we all know that like YouTube and gaming and everything is such a saturated category on YouTube that it is really hard to sort of get like big exposure and stuff. And I do think a lot of it is down to like the mercy of YouTube's algorithm of like showing your content out to people and getting people to like click on your videos and all of that sort of stuff. I mean, I know this is all like woe is me and everything, and there's much bigger problems, but because it's like it is really saturated with gaming, it can be really hard to get that like sort of, you know, getting it out there and stuff. And I really think that like sort of more at the beginning of this year, like I was in that sort of more of a like negative headspace, because I was thinking like, oh, we're not really like getting anywhere, and I couldn't focus like the time that I wanted to focus on the channel to make content, because I really do enjoy making content. You know, like I've said this before, like one of the reasons that like I started my channel, and this is like still true, and this is like always gonna be true for me, is that one of the reasons that I started my channel in the first place, and for those that don't know, is that I was at a point in my life where I'd gone through some really like difficult times, and I was just sort of like starting to get back on my feet, starting to really like take an inward look on myself of to like who I am, what I actually enjoy, and like do things for myself rather than like other people or being controlled by other people. And you know, one of the things that really helped me at that time was I was watching a lot of YouTube content and a lot of like gamers and stuff, and I grew up loving games and playing games. Like I was obsessed with Pokemon, like as a child, like a complete nerd for Pokemon, like playing the card games, like collecting all the cards, like having a Game Boy, which was like my personal, like my own thing, not like passed down from my brother or whatever. And I really loved Soul Edge, that was like my first love game, and like got introduced to Zelda as well on the Game Boy, like Mario as well. And so like I really loved gaming as a child, and then sort of like growing up and like things changed, circumstances and whatnot, like I wasn't able to do that. And so like after this time period in my life, I was watching a lot of YouTube content. I'd bought myself like a PS4 as well, like that was my own, and I was like really getting into like gaming again. And like I was playing like Mortal Kombat 10. Like when that came out, I like played that constantly at that time. And yeah, like I say, I was getting back into like anime as well, reading, and I was really like finding myself. But like I say, a huge part of that was like watching other YouTubers playing games. And as it is at like my sort of like age group and everything, a lot of people were like, a lot of friends and stuff were settling down, getting married, having babies, and having that sort of like more traditional life, which is honestly great for them and great for people who want that. But for me personally, that was not sort of something that I was interested in. Like I wanted to sort of like take some time for myself. And yeah, watching all these YouTubers and everything, like it really ignited my love even more for like gaming. But I didn't feel like I really had an output for that either. But like that helped me through that time. And just like watching long Let's Plays, I love long Let's Plays where it's like a full series more so than like one-off videos. And it really helped me through this like time and really like put a smile on my face, so that when I decided to make my channel, the reason for that was because I wanted to hopefully give that back to other people. That like, just to, I always say like, I want my videos to be able to help someone just chill out from the stresses of life and just take a break from life, and just hopefully be able to relax, take a breath, hopefully make them smile, hopefully make them like giggle a little bit. Like that is sort of like what I want my channel to stand for, is just a relaxing, chilled community. Like that's what I want for the channel, because that's what I found helped me, which is why I like to do long Let's Plays, and more so than like one-off like videos or like little short videos, because that's the kind of content that I prefer. But yeah, I know that like I've just got off on a whole complete tangent and sort of almost forgotten my point of saying all of that. But yeah, like I was kind of stuck at the beginning of this year because I didn't feel like I could put that focus on creating the content that I wanted and be able to, like, I was really sort of like burning out because I was working full-time, like Monday to Friday, with like no wiggle room for like doing YouTube stuff like during that like Monday to Friday period. And then that's, you know, leaving me Saturday, Sunday to try and get, like, I was getting all my content done at a weekend, and there's really not like a good balance to have of like just work and work, because YouTube for me, obviously I enjoy doing it, but also on the other hand, like this is also like work for me. But yeah, I felt like I couldn't give it my all, and so like earlier on in the year I did have the opportunity and made the decision to leave my full-time employment to concentrate on YouTube full-time, which I know is crazy, but I felt like this is what I wanted to do with my time and be able to dedicate my time to doing this and to creating content. And like I say, I just hope that like my videos and my playthroughs like help or like give people, like I say, that chance to sort of like just relax or relive some nostalgia as well for like, you know, older games that we have been playing. And I really wanted to like build this community where we could just, you know, enjoy games and just have a chill, enjoyable time, just engrossing ourselves in these like amazing stories. And you know, I did go through like quite a long period of not being able to like play games, so it's nice like going back and playing like these older games that, you know, people have experience with, and we can sort of like share that, because I feel like you guys definitely have been enjoying like reliving a lot of these games that we've been playing, like obviously a huge one, Red Dead 2. It's been so nice like hearing your guys' stories and like your experiences when you first played it, and like being able to see someone else playing these games for the first time. Like I enjoy like that stuff as well. And I know like this video really doesn't have any like sort of structure, and I am just sort of like rambling to you guys, so like just bear with me. But yeah, like I've been thinking for like a long time that I wanted to you know, be able to do this full time and stuff, so having that opportunity to be able to do that this year has been huge. And I really hope that like you guys can tell as well, like that, you know, more frequent uploads, like longer videos and stuff. And I feel like after making that move and really sort of like putting a schedule and a plan in place and everything, like I feel like I've been able to relax more on camera and everything as well. Like this year, like sort of obviously towards the end of the year, I feel like I've been able to like relax, and I feel like that has been a big improvement on the content that I do create. At least I'm hoping it comes across that way anyway. But yeah, this year has definitely, I feel like I've sort of leveled up with like being in front of the camera, and like the games that we have played this year, I feel like as well has made me has allowed me to be more like emotionally engrossed and vulnerable like in my Let's Plays. It's kind of like opened a bit of a floodgate with some of the games that we've played this year. You know, like there's been a few meltdowns on the channel like this year in a few games, and I feel like a lot of that as well, like you guys have noticed as well because of like the comments and stuff that you've been leaving. I feel like that's enhanced like my playthroughs, just learning to be more emotionally vulnerable like on the camera, and not being too afraid of like someone might see me cry. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I've been really happy with like the content that I've been putting out sort of like towards the end of the year. And I think a massive one of that really started with Ghost of Tsushima. He's gonna try and attack me. Run. Which we played early on in the year. Well, we finished it like early on this year. But I think that was definitely like a pivotal point and like a turning point sort of for that. And I'm so glad that I played it, and it turned out to be like one of my favorite playthroughs that like I've done for the channel. And it's crazy to think that like I originally wasn't like that like bothered about playing Ghost of Tsushima to start with, which is why it took me like so long to sort of like get around to it. And one of the reasons that I did play it was like it was a suggestion from one of you guys for a start, and also like it was on sale on the PlayStation Store. Like that was what like sort of sold me on it. And I'm so happy that I played that, because Jin turned out to be one of my favorite characters ever in a game, and I feel like I got so engrossed in the story and his character development as well. I really like hold that as a special place in my heart, which I think is why I was so hyped for Ghost of Yote coming out. And also I think that that's elevated my enjoyment of Ghost of Yote. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima now is like one of my like top, maybe even one of my top 3 games ever. So yeah, I'm so happy that I played it, which is why like I'm always open to suggestions, because you know there's always going to be like those sort of gems that come from nowhere and absolutely love. You know, this year as well like has seen me like do some of my favorite playthroughs, like Doom the Dark Ages. Like even though it wasn't one of those like super popular series on the channel, I really loved the game. I mean, I've got a soft spot for the franchise anyway, but like that, I feel like I was experimenting a little bit more with like editing, doing more fast cuts and stuff, because I felt like the game obviously is a fast-paced game, and so it needed something a little different from like my usual editing. And I really had a lot of fun editing that series and editing that playthrough, and that sort of gave me a little like push to sort of experiment a little bit more with like certain editing styles and stuff. And even though like my videos still aren't heavily edited, because I want to keep that core long let's play style, it sort of taught me a little bit of like, don't be afraid to cut like more of the boring stuff out, like more of the slower stuff out of a like playthrough. Like you can still keep it long, the video's long, but you don't have to include everything as well, because I kind of got a little bit like precious with, I guess, content for videos to like make sure it's like over a certain like time length and stuff. But I've definitely been doing like even longer like recording sessions and stuff, and I think that's come from like the Dark Ages, and that ended up being like a really fun series for me to like edit, as well as like the game. I love the game, even though it got, so that's mine. What the hell? What? What? A little weird with the storyline and origins of the Slayer. I will say that some of that was definitely a little weird and a little out there, but like I really enjoyed that game as well. And we also saw a return of Kratos. We went back and played the 2018 release. Now the God of War franchise will absolutely always like hold a special place in my heart for the channel. Like I really love like Kratos, his story, the games and everything. I really love those, but also it will hold a special place because the God of War, like 2018, it was my first God of War, and I always think the first game in a franchise is always special to the person playing it. But it also like did a lot for the channel, like that I was not expecting. And again, it was one of those, the 2018, like no one asked for it. I didn't have a lot of subs at the time, and like I was only getting like a handful of views on like videos and stuff, and I was really stuck at that time of like, I have no idea what I want to play. So I was like browsing through the PlayStation Store. It was like free, like on the PlayStation Store, included in the subscription. And so I was like, fine, I'll give it a go. It's in the like popular category, and like it did so much for the channel that I wasn't expecting. Like it got me my first like 100 subs. I got loads of views, and that first video like was in my top, like my top #1 most viewed video up until Red Dead basically. But like since I played it, it did so much for the channel, so it's like very special to me. And I love the franchise now as well. But last year, like, and since playing it really, and Ragnarok, like, I've been getting a lot of criticism that I never played the original trilogy, which I was very open with, that I'd never played it. I'd never had the opportunity to play it before. And so last year we went back and we played the trilogy to see Kratos' origin story, and I really enjoyed those. The only like criticisms really that I had was I was having issues with like streaming it, like being laggy and stuff, like in like fights particularly, like was really frustrating. And some of the mechanics as well wasn't my favorite, but like that's personal preference, and obviously it being an old game, trying to play it obviously on newer consoles and everything. But like I really enjoyed like the trilogy, but yeah, one of the things that like was the massive criticism was like I never played the original trilogy, so I wasn't a real fan according to some people. So like last year we went back and we played the original trilogy. We also played Ascension. I did want to play Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, but like I couldn't find a way to like actually be able to play it and emulate it, so we haven't played those. But yeah, we went back and played those, the other four, loved it. And like those as well, like they got me to my first 1,000 subscribers, so I'm, you know, was able to like monetize the channel, and it was such a like huge thing. So yeah, for many reasons, like that franchise will always like hold a special place in my heart, and 2018 will always be like my first God of War, so it's always going to be special no matter what other people think, like what other people say. And whichever God of War game you say is your favorite, I wouldn't be surprised at. Like I'd be like, yeah, I get that, I understand that. But after experiencing Kratos' origin story, I wanted to go back, so we revisited the 2018, and that was like, even though it wasn't that long ago when I played it originally, it felt very nostalgic to like even go back and like play it again and experience it again. And it was so nice to sort of like be able to put pieces together and understand things, and who like references were being made to and everything. So that was like so much fun for like me to go back and do that this year. And it's just, it felt very like such a comfort game now. But like, yeah, I will always have like a special place for like God of War games because of like how good they are, like the story and how interesting I find them, but also because of just the like what it's done for the channel. Like it's been a huge thing for the channel. The biggest game this year, for so many reasons, for love and hate, has definitely been Red Dead 2 that we've like not long finished up. That was such a like whirlwind of an experience, and literally because people had been asking for it, and I wanted to get my teeth into like a big game again, because it felt like it's been forever since like we've just done, you know, a big game, a really long let's play. Like I think the last one was Rebirth, which I think was like 70 videos or something like I put into that. So like it'd been a while since, you know, we really got our teeth stuck into something. And yeah, people had been asking for Red Dead 2 for a few years now. So I finally like decided to bite the bullet and go for it. And God, it's such a weird like experience for me, because like I not only loved the game, but I also hated it with a passion. Like I honestly, like there was some days where I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this video. Like it was so taxing, which like I said in my review of it and everything. But like since finishing the game, my love has grown for it even more, and for like Arthur and everything. And like Roger Clark was streaming it, so I like watched a bit of like him playing it, which is kind of funny, seeing Arthur play Arthur. But yeah, like my love for the game has truly like grown for it, and like looking back on it, like yeah, it taught me a lot as regards to like, again, that sort of like emotional vulnerability and everything. It taught me a lot about that, about fully engrossing myself into like these characters in these like games and everything. Like I really put myself in that playthrough, and that's where this whole like feeling more accomplished with like my content, because I allowed myself, I guess, to be like that, you know, emotionally vulnerable, and to sort of like let it all out, and sort of like not hold my feelings back, and like my opinions back on like how I was feeling in the game. Like I really did just allow that to like be all out there for people to see. I feel so sad for Arthur. Like after everything that he's been going through. And I feel like you guys got that and reciprocated that, because like the love that I got for, obviously particularly towards the end of like chapter 6 and everything, like the amount of like just shared trauma experience, and just like that support and that love that like that series saw, just like really did like blow me away. And I feel like being like that really paid off for the experience of that playthrough. And so like that's also why like Red Dead 2 like means a lot for like me and for like the channel, because I really did put a lot of me in the commentary sort of like side, and the like I say, just allowing myself to be just exposed on camera to like hopefully, you know, enhance the experience of the playthrough. And I feel like, personally, I feel like it paid off massively with like how you guys reacted to it. But yeah, it was, I still hate the game, but I really do love it. It's such a weird, like I have such a weird like relationship to that game now. Like it's bizarre. Like I said, I felt like I was almost like burning myself out, so it definitely did teach me to sort of like what to sort of like concentrate on, and like how to do the playthrough. And that's why sort of like towards the end of chapter 6 I just ended up like recording like the last 3 videos like in sort of like before it went up on the channel, to sort of prevent myself from like getting burnt out with like, or like being overwhelmed with that. But yeah, now it's just getting overwhelmed with like Red Dead 1 when Red Dead 1 when like guys, like I said, I need like a little bit of a break, but Red Dead 1 will definitely come out. Yeah, I will of course be playing through Red Dead 1, like how can I not after experiencing that? But I feel like because Red Dead 1 is a prequel to Red Dead 2, I kind of feel like that it's probably done me well to experience Red Dead 2 first and then go back to Red Dead 1. I know like quite a few people also say that they prefer to play Red Dead 2 first and then go back to 1, like knowing a bit about the backstory and stuff. I'm excited to get into it, but like I say, I just need like I think I just need a bit more time sat on Red Dead 2. But yeah, the support has been overwhelming for that series, and like hearing your guys' story about like when you first experienced that and when you first like got to the end of chapter 6 and all of that is like, I feel like we shared something really special for that playthrough. And so yeah, that also became one of my favorite playthroughs, even though if I did do it kicking and screaming at some points, it did become like one of my favorite playthroughs that I've done on the channel. And the end of chapter 6 video is now also like, is knocked God of War off the top spot for my most viewed video, which I didn't think would happen for a long time. But yeah, it was like, as recording of this, it's like sat at something crazy like 13,000 views, which is insane for like my channel size and like, you know, crazy. So yeah, I can't believe something knocked God of War off that top spot. But yeah, so I feel like we're ending off the year fairly strong because we have now started The Witcher, which honestly is kind of like purely for my nostalgia, my enjoyment, why I wanted to do that. You know, it's winter time here, it's drab and dreary outside and stuff, and like The Witcher is like a bit of a comfort game for me. It's been a while since I've actually been able to like sit down and play it because it's a commitment to get through The Witcher. But you know, I've had like 600 hours in The Witcher, so it's been a little while since I've played it, so it's been really nice to get back in and yeah, and play it again, because like I first played The Witcher, like I said, like before going through like a tougher time in life that I wanted like to escape into a game. And like my brother gave me The Witcher 3 and was like, this is a really good game, you should play this. And I was like, I've never actually like heard of it, like sure, like I don't know if it's gonna be good, I don't know if it's gonna be like my cup of tea or whatever. And yeah, instantly like fell in love with it, and it gave me so much like relief from like the stresses of life and stuff. So yeah, I definitely wanted to get like a proper playthrough up on the channel before obviously Witcher 4 comes out, but like I had started recording it. It was one of the earlier playthroughs that I'd started on the channel like a few years ago now, obviously. But I'd started doing like Witcher Wednesdays, so every Wednesday I would upload like a video of The Witcher. But it sort of like fell off. And like nobody was really watching it and stuff, so I started like focusing on like other things, trying to find content that other people would also enjoy, but also that I would enjoy making. So it kind of fell off, but like because it's like my #1 game, I had to like, I feel like I need to get a proper playthrough up on the channel, particularly before 4 comes out, because I love it so much. So we'll obviously like looking forwards into like next year and stuff, we're of course going to continue on, but like for now I feel like I'm gonna do longer videos for The Witcher, but just like less frequently, because it is such a huge game. Like the first video like I recorded about 3 hours, and most of that went into the actual video, but also like I was kind of like recording and didn't sort of keep an eye on the like how long I'd been recording for, so which I suppose that's a sign of a good game, and it is that like you don't feel like a lot of time has passed while playing it. I think that's a sign of a good game, that you truly do get like lost in it. But yeah, so the plan is for next year is to continue on with The Witcher, doing longer videos for that. We'll hopefully finish up Ghost of Yotei because I've been enjoying that a lot. You guys might have seen it, but the part 42, I think it is, yeah, towards the end of that, we make a discovery, and like, God, that got me so emotional. Like I was getting emotional for that. But yeah, I've been really enjoying like Ghost of Yotei, and I think that was elevated by obviously Ghost of Tsushima and my love for Ghost of Tsushima, but hopefully we'll get that wrapped up fairly quickly ish in the new year. That'll definitely take upload priority for finishing that up. I think we're like a good like portion of the way through the game anyway. But yeah, so new Let's Plays for next year. What is going to be happening for the channel now that I've like rambled on? What we're going to do next year. So Resi 9 is coming out end of February. Super excited for that. That's the first big one. We've got Reanimal coming out in February also, I believe, but I'm not sure if there's enough interest to do that, to do like you know, that type of game. This year definitely has taught me sort of what you guys prefer content wise as regards to types of games. So, and I'm happy to sort of stick with the type of games like the action RPGs, action adventure like type games. Like good action game is like my favorite type of game to play, and I feel like you guys prefer that content as well. So I'm happy to sort of more, I guess it is kind of like boxing ourselves into a particular category, but if that's the sort of thing that you guys enjoy, then I'm of course happy to do that. But yeah, I feel like we're sort of finding our stride with the type of like games, like I say, that you guys prefer. So I'm not entirely sure whether Reanimal will come to the channel or not. Like I say, all content depends on you guys, whether like there's enough interest, because you know, like I say, I want to make content that I'm happy with and that I actually enjoy doing, but I also want to do what you guys enjoy as well. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure yet whether that'll come to the channel. Resi 9 definitely though, because I really do like the Resi franchise, and it does look like a good game and stuff, so I do want to do that for the channel. We had Control Resonant announced at the Game Awards, which was unexpected actually. Like I thought that there would be like a Control 2 or whatever at some point, but I wasn't expecting the announcement. I'm not entirely sure if it's like an actual sequel. It looks like we're playing as Dylan, the brother. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see like the story, like what the story is gonna be for that. But the combat looks really good. Like the trailer that they announced, the combat that they showed looked really interesting, like with the weapons and stuff. So it does look like it's probably gonna be a little bit more like combat heavy, like just smashing through enemies and stuff, which I'm all for. So with that in mind, I do want to get a playthrough up of Control up on the channel at some point next year, because it does say that Resonant is supposed to be released next year. I'm assuming it's going to be later on in the year, but we'll probably maybe look at doing Control after Resi 9. We'll sort of like see how we go. We also got a release date for Phantom Blade Zero, which I've been waiting for, and that is coming September next year, which I'm so excited for that. Like I've been keeping my eye on that for quite a while. I was almost expecting it to come in 2027, but hyped that it's going to be 2026. So yeah, we'll absolutely, like, that's day one play for me unless something happens. What else do we have next year? There is also the Directive 8020, which was supposed to be released this year, but it got pushed back to next year. Again, I enjoy those types of games, like they're super silly, but there's usually a good amount of like jump scares in them, and it's another like Choices Matter, which is, I think, is amusing for me to play, considering that I find it extremely difficult to make decisions and to choose an option, especially like on the spot with a time limit or whatever. So that could be amusing. But again, if there's like interest, because I did do a few other games on the channel, House of Ashes, the hotel one, I can't remember what that's called now, the H Holmes based one, and then we did the Quarry as well, up on the channel. So there's a couple of those types of games up on the channel, but again, like I say, that sort of depends on your guys' interest in that type of game. But that's coming out early next year, I believe. But as well as that, I wanted to keep a good mix on the channel between like older games and newer releases. So those are like the newer releases that should be coming out next year that I kind of like want to keep my eye on and like do on the channel. But as regards to older games, I think I would probably I think that you guys would probably riot if I don't do Red Dead 1 next year. So Red Dead 1 will be coming next year. I'm just not entirely sure when, like depending on schedule and stuff. I'm not entirely sure like how long the game is. I know it is obviously smaller than Red Dead 2, but that will definitely be coming next year, probably after Resi 9, maybe after Control, somewhere around there. We'll sort of see, but I promise we will play it. We will play it on the channel. I don't think you guys would allow me to not play it. So yeah, Red Dead 1, Control, like I say, I would like to get a new playthrough of that up on the channel before the new one comes out. I wanted to, like, I've been saying this for ages, but I wanted to get like a Sekiro playthrough up. That one up whole a little while ago. I thought it was going to be Dark Souls 1, but Sekiro came in, I pipped it. So I do really want to try and prioritize that next year as well, and hopefully, fingers crossed, get a Sekiro playthrough up on the channel. That's personally my favorite FromSoft game. Maybe after that we'll start dipping our toes into Dark Souls. And I know a few people have been requesting Bloodborne. I don't know if we'll get to all of those next year, probably not, but like Sekiro is definitely up there. I do want to do that. Expedition 33, there's kind of like mixed views on that I've seen as regards to like you guys, but like I've been interested in playing that. Like I've had it like on PlayStation for like a few months now, and I haven't got around to playing it. So like I was thinking of doing that for the channel, and you know, it won a lot of awards and everything, and I think that's a great like step to like for indie games and stuff, because it is an indie studio that created Expedition 33. So I wanted to give it like a playthrough on the channel, but like that's kind of, it's been mixed sort of feelings from you guys whether you wanted to see that or not, but like I would like to get around to doing that. And then also as well, I've been saying for ages about Stellar Blade. Like I wanted to play that. I wanted to play it like when it was released, but I can't remember what I was playing at the time and I just didn't get around to it. Yeah, so I would like to play Stellar Blade. My only worry is kind of like a little bit of like the reaction to, you know, Eve, because I've seen a lot of like questionable like comments and stuff around Eve, and like I would prefer to keep that energy away from the channel. So that's kind of also why Stellar Blade hasn't come to the channel yet, even though I do really want to play it. But that's kind of like the consensus of what I'm thinking for the channel and what I'm looking at playing next year. Like I say, the big one, Red Dead 1, we will of course get around to that. And then obviously the new releases as well, being Resi 9, Control Resonant, and Phantom Blade Zero. Those are the like day one plays for me, hopefully next year. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. You know, I've rambled on way longer than what I was expecting to. That's what happens when you don't have structure and you've only got a few bullet points to go off. You just ramble on. But so yeah, if there's any games that you really want to see next year, if there's anything that you feel like, you know, it has to come to the channel next year, by all means leave it in a comment down below. But yeah, I just want to say, like, you know, we're gonna get cheesy here for a moment, but I do just want to say, like, this year I feel like we've seen some, it's been really special, like this year, like particularly like this last half of the year and everything, and like your guys' support like means the world to me. Like, you've definitely kept the smile on my face during like tougher days, and I hope that like I've been able to give that back to you guys as well. That, like I say, the point of this channel is I want it to, for you guys to be able to put on one of my videos and just relax, just chill, just get engrossed in a good story. Because like I say, you guys have definitely kept the smile on my face, and I can't express enough like how much I appreciate you guys and how much it's meant, because obviously without you guys I wouldn't be doing this. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can't thank you enough for like all of your support and continued support. Like, it means a lot. So I just want to say like a massive thank you to you guys, and thank you for coming on this journey with me. I hope you will continue to do so, and we can continue to experience really great stories together. But yeah, I hope you've all been enjoying the festive season. I hope you've all gotten a chance to relax, because it's always like hectic. So I hope you being able to wind down a little. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm wishing you a happy new year, all the best in 2026. I'm very excited for this year, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye everyone.